Collage papers. I have a few thousand, I think. And while this is an absolutely valuable resource that I use on a regular basis, I need to take control of this stash and organize it. Here's my hanging file system with my collage papers. They are overflowing. And I hate to admit it, but some of the collage papers in here I've had for over 12 years, and I'm not using them. Needs a revamp. So in today's video, I'm going to show you what I do as I go through these files and purge and organize this resource so that you can piggyback off my ideas and gain control of your collage papers. Before we go to that, let's talk about what we use the collage papers for. We can use them in the backgrounds. We can use it as an Insta background where you use it as it is. You put on a sentiment, focal image, and away you go. You could use it as a jumpstart background where you put it down in pieces or a whole, and then you add more layers to fully develop your background. I also use it as an inspirational background where I flip through the collage papers to get ideas for the perfect background that I want to create on an art journal page. You could also use it as a focal cutout, like the bodies of the sheep here, or these cups. Lately, I've been using collage papers to make torn paper collage, like these two projects. I have found that color-coded hanging files is a great organizational system for my collage papers. And the reason for this is it holds multiple different sizes of papers. One size fits all. It expands nicely, and it's easy to access and to put away the papers. Right now, I have my hanging files in a filing cabinet. It's a low one, and I was able to inexpensively source this at a thrift store. But you don't have to have it in a filing cabinet, depending on how much paper you have and the size of the art space that you have to work in. There are other options, including you could put it in a banker's box. They hang in there, easy peasy. And because they have lids, you can stack them. So you can have other papers all organized. You can use one of these desktoppers. Or even this Pendaflex hanging system, which allows you to hang it on the back of a door and doesn't take up much space at all. So hopefully one of these will work for you. So let's take control of our collage paper stash. So I have used colored folders for my hanging folders to make it even easier. And I have one folder for every color. I also have a black folder and brown paper folder that you don't see here. Inside each folder at the end, I am going to sort by size. I'm going to put them right side up so that they're easier to flip through. And I'm going to put all the full size sheets together like you see here. Half sheets or 3/4 sheets are going to go in this letter folder that again is color coded. Again, this keeps them all neat and tidy, and I've placed them print side up, colored side up. Again, that is just easier for me to grab and flip through. I'm not going to have to start rearranging it after that time. Then smaller pieces I'm putting in these plastic envelopes. It keeps it all neat and tidy, and it's not loose and falling all over the place. Okay, so let's go through one folder and demonstrate how I sort it. And I will talk you through it and share my insights and what I've learned, and you'll be able to take what you can. So this is the blue folder, and I'm just sorting them. And I realized that along with the sizes, I want to sort maybe by the shade of blue. We've got light blue, we've got navy blue, I've got certain color combos, blue and green, and, and different things. So what you have may be different because you're working with whatever collage papers you've collected. So you're going to have to edit that, and you're going to have to sort them in the way that makes sense to you. You do not want to overthink this process. You do not want to stop and admire things. Make quick decisions. So if that means you're only going to do one folder a day, that's fine. Don't get too tired because you're going to tend to veer and not be able to make those decisions. Now, my goal here is to sort out by sizes, sort by the shades. I'm also kind of sorting out pages that are going to be great as an Insta background. I might put those in a certain place. I'm also sorting by the type of paper. I've got copy paper, I've got tissue paper, collage sheets that I've done on napkin. Now, you see me putting something up top. What I'm doing there is I am taking out prints or collage papers that aren't quite done. There's potential there, but they need a little something, something. And I'm going to come back to them, and that'll be another video where I'm going to take those and see if I can't revive them and make them more useful for how I do art, how I do my art journal pages, and how I'm using my gel prints. Prints that are not inspiring me, or I don't think I'm going to use, I'm throwing in the garbage. They're going into the recycle bin. They're getting out of my files. I'm getting rid of the old and uninspired and bringing in the new. I also have some that I've printed on deli paper. And now the deli paper I have doesn't go very translucent. I find the paint actually peels off of it when I try to reapply it. So, you know what? There's no reason that I keep these in here. I also have some of the collage papers, gel prints on paper that is thicker than my copy paper, and I'm not using those. So, what I'm going to do is those are going into the recycle bin. I don't know how many times I've gone through the file folder and I don't use them because it's just not how I want to do it. So, why am I keeping them? You only want things in here that are going to inspire you, that are going to be the colors and textures and the type of papers that you need to do the kind of art that you are doing. By being brave enough to throw out some of these papers, you are making room for new, fresh papers that you are going to love and you are going to use. So what you're looking at now is my trash can filled with collage papers that I have been able to purge during this 2-day session. One of the things that I did along the way, as soon as there were about 10 papers that I was going to discard, I removed them from my immediate vicinity. I walked them to where my trash can was and crumpled them up and put them in there. I didn't want to rethink it. I didn't want to revisit it. So moving forward, I have this pile of papers with potential that all need a little something something to turn them into backgrounds or to collage papers that I will love and will use. So I'm going to do that in another video. So be sure to subscribe. So here's my filing system before I got control. And here it is after. Neat and tidy, takes up a lot less space, and ready for me to add to it. One of the advantages of having gone through this sort I was making a list of things that I liked, things that I wanted to have more of. I want to do more on coffee filters. I want to do more with muted shades. I want to do more on tissue papers. I want to do some collage papers on book paper. I like the collage papers that I have that were printed on newsprint like papers. I also like the collage papers that were braillered. So by going through this process, I now have a plan for moving forward for making collage papers that I will love and use. I hope this video inspired you to take control of your collage papers. Now go, sort, organize, and purge.